Parwinder Kaur.
Thank you, President. Honorable members, today I rise to pay a small tribute to the pioneers of the Sikh community who made amazing contributions in shaping the cultural landscape and the infrastructure landscape of the Western Australia that we enjoyed. Over this weekend, I had a privilege to attend the Sikh Heritage Trail event that was hosted by Virsa Club in the Riverton. There is a beautiful Sikh Heritage Trail that has been, built to showcase the history of the Sikh pioneers who called Western Australia home since early 19th century. I was joined by a number of my parliamentary colleagues from the Legislative Assembly, and also the Honourable Nick Goran was there. We learned a lot of history that day, and that led me to not just present this member statement here. I am a very proud Sikh heritage person. I thought I'll share a bit of a history of who we are and how the identities have been misrepresented here in Western Australian history. But at the same time, that led me to do a little bit more research on the pioneers in Western Australia, and that led me to a wonderful thesis which has been done by a Murdoch University Bachelor of Arts History Honours student in 2021, Jonathan Huins. So I would like to provide that as a further reference to anybody who is interested to learn more about this subject. So the Remembrance Day, which was celebrated last Saturday, was in the memory of pilot Manmohan Singh, who has been an unseen, unsung, and an unspoken ultimate sacrifice during the Broome air raids that happened on 3rd of March. So this is the reason why this Remembrance Day is celebrated every year in the first Saturday of March. So I'll just go back a little bit, as we have a bit of a theme going on today on the history and tradition on different bills being spoken. So Sikhism is one of the youngest religion in India, which started in about 15th century. It was founded by Guru Nanak Dev Ji in the Punjab region, and the Punjab word comes from, the meaning of Punjab is the land of 5 rivers, and that's where I come from as well. And there are 3 key pillars of the Sikh faith, which was founded out of a very deep sense of seva and equity in the societies that had a lot of things happening, because we were ruled by the Mughals at that point of time in that part of the India, and there was a lot of conversions happening from Hinduism to Islam religion. And Sikhs were some of the fighters or the warriors who come in to stand up against that. So that is the whole origin of the Sikh faith. And it was formally founded by our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, in 1699. That was the time when the community was given a formal name and a distinct identity, which actually took which removed the caste distinctions prevalent at that point of time. So all the men were given a surname Singh. If you come across any Singhs, you know automatically they come from the Punjab region through the same faith that I follow. And all the girls were named Kaur. So Singh means lion and Kaur means warrior princess, because this was the community who stood up against the injustice and the caste system that was happening. And that was another big thing, was that men and women, we've been celebrating the International Women Day or Week last week, but this happened in the very early 15th century, that through the foundation of Sikh religion, men and women actually were stood as equals in dignity and identity in the society, and that has been one of the core values that has been practiced in Sikhism. But in 1849, when the British annexed the very small phase of the Sikh Empire, which went from 1799 to 1849, 1849, the British annexation of the Punjab marked the end of the Sikh Empire. And that is when it triggered a wave of migration where all the people who were living in that region of Punjab went looking for migration to different parts of the world. Some went to UK, as we know, some went to many other parts of the world, and a very few came to Australia because in 1885, during the British years, the service in the British forces offered opportunities and a warrior reputation to a lot of Sikh soldiers. And in 1885, I found that the Bannon scheme proposed to settle Indian colonists in WA's north. And some Indians, including Sikh men, later landed in WA at that point of time. The gold boom of the 1890s attracted more Sikhs hoping to make their fortune here as miners. But that was also the time of the White Australia policy. And from 1886, Asiatic aliens, that's what they were called at that point of time. And a lot of Sikh history is not even registered in Western Australia because they were misinterpreted as Afghans. So just the tragedy of the situation that they fought against the Mughals to stop the conversions, and that was the whole origin. And then when they actually came here, even till today, they are known as Afghans in this country. But going back to the history, so yeah, the Asiatic aliens, they were actually barred from holding minor licenses. The Sikhs as British subjects, as that is the scheme under which they came, they were not legally aliens, but nevertheless found it difficult to obtain minor rights. And Sikhs in the colony protested the exclusion, and that was the time in 1898, the Sikh petition signed by some 100 men were presented to the Premier Forest to protect their rights as British subjects, which didn't go through, but it was a huge effort in those times when the transport was not like today, that you could travel from one place to another so easily in Western Australia, to gather 100 signatures on the petitions. I looked into a little bit more history, and I found that probably Pal Singh, who was a cameleer at Wyndham, the very first Sikh migrant to arrive here in 1886. There were no women allowed, and even the men who came here, they could not, neither could they bring their families or kids from Punjab here, but they were also not allowed to marry here. So there was a lot of restrictions. But despite that, the community has supported the Western Australian infrastructures through their jobs as hawkers, as especially in the regional areas as cameleers, and there was a lot of contributions made during the Kalgoorlie pipeline that was during the goldfields, and a lot of other work that has been done and recognized. In Dongra, there is a Sikh lane that was inaugurated last year, and then a Coolgardie. There's a number of contributions that were made, and if I have a couple of minutes, so I would like to contribute a few names. Masa Singh, who was one of the famous wrestlers, he used to give a bout for 200 pounds if anybody would beat him. At that point of time, you could buy a 4-bedroom house for 240 pounds in somewhere like Cottesloe area. So he became a very, very famous wrestler in here. The other names I've got from Coolgardie area, where there are a lot of memories of the Sikh community belonging from 1894. Gopal Singh, Mitha Singh, Rula Singh, Bishan Singh, Sadhu Singh, Bulla Singh, Bar Singh, Ula Singh, Supurna Singh, Jud Singh, Guda Singh, and Braham Singh were some of the Sikh active in around Coolgardie area. So I just wanted to share with you guys who are the Kaurs and the Singhs. You might see them around in the communities when you go around, and there's a lot of contributions and a lot of resilience that they have shown, and they still continue to contribute to the society. And there is a huge contemporary Sikh population in Australia. It's about, in fact, Punjabi is one of the highest spoken English languages in our country today, which is a huge achievement of the Sikh community, not just preserving their heritage, but also contributing to the society we call, we are very proud of today. Thank you so much.
Are there any